Oh, Big Ben. It's Tuesday. I was out to sushi over the weekend. It was our anniversary. We went into
Huh?
LA, omakase sushi,
Ooh,
and it was great because, like, the omakase sushi experience, you rely on the chef,
you
right,
do.
to create the adventure. You trust in his ability to deliver food, and you're at the mercy of the chef. And
Hmm.
that's what the T-Wolves defense was like in the first quarter when Luka went for 16. He started out hot. They got a little cold. There was a little comeback, but the Lakers did win a must-win game to change the series to 1-1. And from this point on, I'm still going Lakers. Lakers in six. The Lakers will win 3 out of the next 5 and close them out in 6. The Lakers have too many pieces. The T-Wolves are too 3-point reliant.
Hmm.
And I just don't know if Ant is that dude.
Can I look? I want to go back to the omakase. Can you send something back, or do you simply just seriously? Can you just not eat it? Is that of is that proper manners, if you would, to not
Can
eat
you
something?
Rudy Gobert it back to the counter? I don't know, but here's what we did because actually this is my first omakase
Oh,
experience. Yeah.
okay.
And there was 6 people at the countertop and there was a couple next to us and they said, "Hey, we don't like squid. Can we swap that out?" And that was further down.
Uh
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I hate squid." So I don't know if you can like turn it back once it's on your plate, but
Right
like you can pre say you don't like something. I
now,
think
did you
that's better etiquette.
did you step in and also say I didn't like squid?
Oh, as soon as I heard that, I was like, I didn't know you could do that. I was like, I don't like squid either. And then Jen heard me. She's like, "Get that squid off of my plate too."
Okay, the Timberwolves. So this series, as I've seen it, I'm a box score kind of guy these days. I get glimpses, but I don't get the whole game.
That's fair.
Here's what I saw game one.
You're my data analytics guy.
I am Jaden McDaniels, Nas Reid, big games. Jaden McDaniels missed 2 field goals, put up
Yeah.
25 points.
Yeah.
The guy that they didn't want to trade. They see
Mhm.
something in Jaden. Ant
Yeah.
and Jaden might be a duo, like all-star duo here in the near future.
Ooh.
Ooh. But what happened game two? What happened game two? Jaden McDaniels 3 for 11, 0 for 3 with 8 points. Nas Reid 3 for 8, 1 3 9 points. What's the
Yeah.
difference? You know what I saw in the box? The Lakers were more aggressive.
That
You
is
get guys
true.
with fouls. You get to the free throw line. You slow the game down. You make possessions kind of dirty. Listen, threes in transition are a lot easier than threes, in the half court. So the Lakers did a phenomenal job there. I don't think this series is about the big names at all. It's guys like Jaden McDaniels, Nas Reid, uh, uh, guys that are as they go, the series is going to go. To be honest, and I think the
Yeah.
Lakers figured out how to control the Timberwolves, at least on the defensive end. Get at them, get fouls. Gobert only had 1 foul last night. It just tells you the French are too polite. The Timberwolves need to match like aggressiveness with aggressiveness. You can't stand at the 3-point line. You got to go at them. You got to force them to defend. Okay, Lakers in 6, sure.
Wow. You're
Lakers.
right, because the T-Wolves hit, I think, 21 threes in game one.
You're not going to
Last
do that
night,
again.
they hit 5. So you go from 50% from three-point land to like 20% with 15 less threes. It all adds up. And in game one, JJ Redick even said it. The Lakers didn't have the intensity and
Hmm.
energy that was needed in the playoff series. And a lot of those T-Wolves three-pointers were uncontested, wide
Yep.
open. The Lakers made the adjustment on defense. They played harder. They got the loose balls. They had the intensity. And I think sometimes you need to lose to get like, oh, we can't just show up with the names on the back of our jerseys and win, even if it's the playoffs.
Yeah, you wonder if the Timberwolves are just a one-trick pony, right? And to your point, Redick made you got to give Redick or LeBron, whoever's calling the shots on that team, some credit because they came out, made an adjustment, and case in point on the kind of on the ancillary stars or the fourth, fifth man, or even the guy off the bench that comes in. Ty Jerome, that's one game I did watch. The Cavs beat the Heat. Ty Jerome had 24 off the bench.
Yeah.
So you get a guy like that, right? When no one's thinking about Ty Jerome at the 3-point line, no one's really thinking about Reid at the 3-point line either. So if you can knock those down, but if you're the Lakers, D up.
Yeah.
D up.
Well, I think what the Lakers are scared of is Ant getting into the lane in space off of a mismatch, like going at Reeves or going at Luka. So they're always putting two on the ball, and they're leaving someone kind of in the middle and help defense. And if you're not hitting the 3-pointers and you're the T-Wolves, that works. But if they are, it's a different story.
I think this is Redick found the blueprint. Game 2, it didn't take him game 3, game 4. If you want to bury him, just keep it up. And you talked about it, you're going to need to win 5-game series if you're the Lakers and you want to go the distance.
Yeah.
And plus,
you can't take away everything, right? So no one on this podcast or in this world believed that the T-Wolves would shoot 50% from three-point land and hit 21 threes throughout the series, right? Like they'll get hot, they'll have their moments, but I'm going to continually clog the lane and make Jaden Daniels, Julius Randle, and everyone else beat us from the outside. I'm not going to let Ant in the lane. And so, like, you got to live with that. You got to lose with that. But the Lakers will win this in 6.
I agree. Let's talk Ant.
Oh, let's kick off the show. Hello and welcome to Big Ben and K Winn. Each week we broadcast live on YouTube. Drop your comments below if you're watching this now or on demand later. More of an audio podcast person, download, listen, subscribe, 5 stars, anywhere you get your podcasts. I'm K Winn. He's Big Ben. Tonight, we're going to talk about Ant. It's that time of the year. Who is he? We'll talk a little NFL draft. We might go into some other playoff series and much, much more.
Okay, here's my Ant theory. Can I give it to you?
Let's hear it.
Ant, A-N-T, 3 letters. What else out there in the world do we normally associate with 3 letters or an acronym? Stocks, baby. Stocks. And I'm talking Ant being Mr. Linear. Holy guacamole. Okay.
Are there tariffs going around with
There
stock?
are no tariffs that have hit Ant, apparently, because he's taken his average points from 19 his rookie year up to 27.6. And it's weird. It's like 2-point increments. Yeah. Continuous, steady growth. 3-point percentage from 32 to 39%. Continual improvement. Free throw percentage 77-83. And assist 2.9 to 4.5. He's an anomaly in that regard. Normally you plateau. Normally you become who you are. But I think we're wondering how high can Ant go? And I think this is the best it's going to get. Because he's already an all-star, right? He's 4th in the league in scoring. You can't do much more on the court. There's only so many possessions to go around. But this is the best Ant's going to get. Now,
so what is he? Top what player in the NBA?
Oh, it's about winning, right? You got to win. You got to be there. You got to be in the Western Conference Finals. You got to be you got to be in those types of games to go forward. And you need a running mate. Is Julius Randle a running mate? Nope. For every Jordan, there's a Pippen, right? For the most part. I think Ant's a great player that probably won't ever see. And I don't think he wins an NBA championship as it is today.
Okay. Does he win MVP?
I don't think you can win MVP. I mean, when do they vote?
It's coming. Usually,
it's coming. Usually after the first round, maybe second round, first round, maybe. I'm trying to think of a player. I need a comp. I need you to find me a comp. Player that never won a title. Stat filler. I mean, maybe he's like the guard Barkley. Serious.
Yeah.
Exciting to watch. Boisterous. But I don't think he's, at least if he's a Timberwolf for life, I don't know that they'll win a title.
Tracy McGrady.
There you go.
High-powered scorer, young, dynamic. I mean, McGrady did have his knee issues later, so hopefully Ant stays healthy. But He's on the path of prolific scorer, top. No, McGrady was better. When McGrady was on, he was like a top 3 player in the NBA. I don't think Ant is a top 3 player right now. He might be a top 7, 8 player. And for him to get to that next category, like in the top 5, in the top 3, got to beat the Lakers, got to beat the Warriors, got to beat OKC or Denver or the Clippers, got to get to the finals. Because my top 5 right now, they either have MVPs, they're going to get MVPs, or they're in the finals. Like Jokic, Luka, Shea. I'll even put Giannis in there for now, and Tatum.
Yeah. Riddle this, like, I think Ant will have to be humbled a little bit. Like, you can't continue on this trajectory, right? You've got to figure out a way to win and sacrifice for the team. And I don't know if Ant's that guy. Like, I think he wants to uphold this image. Right now, his bark is bigger than his bite.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of barks, he's a top 1 to 2 guy in the NBA, but his bites down there probably in around 8 to 10. He's an enigma. He's linear. Like, it's interesting to see, but I just don't. If he was on the, like, swap him teams, swap Tatum for Ant. Are the Celtics as good as they are?
Yeah. They just got so many dudes.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the comp of Tracy McGrady.
My challenge to Ant is he's improved his 3-point shooting. That's great. He can finish when he dunks over people. But, like, if you watch these games, there's a lot of layups where he's kind of hovering and then trying to do something, and he's not hitting them. So if you have to make that many adjustments to hit an acrobatic, frenzy, Sports Center style layup, then make the adjustment of a little floater in the lane or maybe stopping in the mid-range. I don't know how many times I saw down the stretch he tried to drive and herky-jerky layup and didn't get the foul call, and then he's complaining. Well, it's playoff basketball. You're not going to get the foul call if you're making all these adjustments. You either got to go into the body or you got to finish before contact. And I want to see him improve in the in-between game. He can shoot the 3. He can hammer on someone. But can he stop on the dime and shoot the midi or a little floater in the lane if he's not going to get the foul call every single time?
Your goal, if you're Ant, don't end up on the Sports Center top 10. You don't need to. Like, just win the game, to your point. Like, be more efficient. You're on the floor quite a bit. The guy hasn't missed many games in his career up until this point. Right? Just make it easier on yourself. Yeah. To your point. Like, you don't need, like, I think, Ant's probably, he just needs to be humbled, in my opinion. Great player, but he needs to focus on, Ant, here's what we need you to do. Here's what we need you not to do. 2 points is 2 points. 3 points is 3 points. Like,
what makes him great is he's so powerful, but I just want a little finesse.
Yeah.
Like, look at Shea. Like, it's all about angles and like when you're cutting, are you finishing with the right? Are you finishing with the left? And kind of tricking the defense into getting to the hoop. But all this herky-jerky stuff, and he's on the floor as the Lakers are going back down the court with numbers and scoring.
Those running backs that could easily go out of bounds or just dive on the ground, and they get the same amount of yards, but Ant's the guy that wants to square someone up and put him on the ground, and kind of exert his strength. That doesn't need to be done for the most part. Just get that yard. Go back to the huddle. Don't lay on the ground asking for a foul.
I had a couple other NBA stuff I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
The Knicks, they're like the Lakers of the East, but not as good and less sexy. Right? They've got 3 players, Mikal Bridges, Cat, and Brunson.
They're ugly.
Not the same 3 as the Lakers. The Knicks got Tibbs, a defensive coach. They made this run. They traded all these players because they have a small championship window. And that window is about to shut because Cade Cunningham and my Pistons are going to do it. They should have won game 1, but they were youth. got in the way of them winning game 1. They won game 2. And you know when you're about to lose a series is when you start complaining to the refs. You're
Yes.
about to lose a series is when your post-game press conference is about my best player isn't getting the calls.
And there's this.
I got the Pistons winning here, and I got Cade Cunningham surpassing Ant into the top 5. He can do more. He can score. He can distribute. And he's still got to make other players better. Cade can make other players better. I think he's got more of the perimeter, interior, and potential post-move game. I got Cade over Ant. I got the Pistons over the Knicks. I got the Pistons as that next team in the East on the rise.
Thompson for the Pistons is nice. And you know, I didn't realize this, but I did watch that game. Cade Cunningham, 6'7".
Yeah.
Jalen Duran, who those two at the top apparently Lob City alley-oop duo in the NBA, he makes Jalen Duran look like he's 7'4". He puts it right on the rim every time. Boom, done. Game over. And Cade is a hoop to hoop guy. Like he can take it hoop to hoop in like 6 strides and be efficient. You're right. And I love how the Pistons went to Madison Square Garden and just buckled up, laced them up, and took it to him. And Brunson, you're right, wanted all these fouls. All, you know, like it was. And then Cat is like Duran's just putting it in his chest. Like this is a good series.
Cat didn't score in the fourth quarter.
He didn't. No, because he's like Jalen Duran, like he didn't want to go in the key because Jalen Duran was just putting it in his chest every time he did.
He's a house cat.
He is.
He sits up on the 3-point line.
He's there when he, you know, like a long 3 that misses and caroms and he dunks it. Like that's him, but he's not a guy that's going to grind down low.
No.
I like the Pistons too. Cade is good. Like Cade's, you know, and from what I saw, you walk into Madison, that place was Fat Joe was in the front row.
Yeah.
50 Cent was in the front row. Like it was it. You and I have both been there, but we were watching Mello, so there was no playoff games. But to see the Pistons, who are pretty young, go in and beat the Knicks with the refs are the refs. I like what you said. Playoff basketball, you're not going to get a call. No, you got to buckle in, go. And Brunson's ball dominant, man. He has the ball a lot, too much, in my opinion. Mikal Bridges is forced to score on transition.
Yeah.
And his shot is, Mikal's got a high release, very high release. Not textbook.
Mikal's time in New York's going to be short. Here's my other prediction. Knicks go out early, either the Pistons or they'll lose to the Celtics is a sure thing. They trade Mikal Bridges back to the Suns for KD.
Oh,
I don't know who's going to be involved in the trade, but New York, they're going to panic. Oh my gosh, we've got to win now. We can't compete with the Celtics. We can't compete with all these teams. KD to the Knicks.
That'd be appropriate. That's all I'm going to say. That'd be appropriate. Put KD closer to the stock market. He can market himself. Like, man, the guy's going to have 6 jersey retirement parties throughout the remainder of his career. I mean, I like the take. I think it fits.
Okay. You gotta stop agreeing with everything I say. I know my stuff is good, but
well, no. Here's why I say that. Like, if the New York goes out, they're gonna be like, dang, like we thought we'd make a run. We got the teams, we had Cat, we had all these guys, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work. The formula, you can't come back with the same formula in New York and think you're gonna, hold the fans. You're not.
no.
New York fans are smart enough to see the deficiencies in the team, and they're gonna say, if you come back with the same thing, we're gonna get our rear ends kicked by the Pistons again. And the Pistons, for all intents and purposes, are a young team, unproven, and so forth. So, yeah, go get Durant. New York always needs hope. They need a little hope, right? And Durant would be that hope.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're not going to win the championship, you need to kind of sprinkle some pixie dust on the fans, give them hope, and that's Durant. They're still not going to win it with Durant, but at least they can talk about the possibilities.
All right. Does the NFL have like a lead-in song for the draft?
No.
Welcome to the NFL draft. Here, where is it this year?
Isn't it in Green Bay? In Wisconsin, I believe.
No.
You give your little bit and I'll.
No. Okay, either way, wherever it is, I think one of your questions to me was how many QBs are going in the first round. I've seen latest mock predictions right in and
The
around.
NFL draft this year is being held in Wisconsin, Green Bay.
What?
Specifically
God.
at and around Lambeau Field, aka Titletown.
Titletown's beautiful, apparently. Charles Ben. It's an amazing complex. I'm excited. So the draft is what? Starts Thursday? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oof.
5 p.m.
Oof. Hey.
We're doing a live show.
Former Coug. We get to claim him.
Yeah.
Without WSU, WSU was.
Are you talking about Cam Ward or our co-host Evan Core?
Maybe a little of both. No, Evan is probably the of all my friends understands football and the Seahawks better than him. He understands needs, prospects, and so forth that could help us. But I want to talk about quarterbacks. Cam Ward set to be number one. Can we agree on that?
We can agree.
It's been said that the second best quarterback is Shadeur Sanders. Can we agree on that? Allegedly. All right, give me your take then. Who's better than Shadeur?
So before I give you my take, I think there's only one quarterback who is first round, who is an NFL first rounder. Okay. I think everyone else is round 2 to 3 or 4 to 7. But your tier 1 quarterbacks this year in a weak draft, it's Cam Ward, it's Shadeur, and Jackson Dart. They say the over-under for quarterbacks drafted in the first round is 2.5. I'm taking the over.
Yep.
You need 3 to make it interesting. I think Shadeur goes in the first round. I think Jackson Dart goes in the first round. However, I think Jackson Dart gets picked before Shadeur.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying Shadeur is falling to the Steelers at 21. Jackson Dart.
Where's Jackson then?
He'll go to the Saints at 9.
Okay. Yeah. Derek Carr's out. I get that. Here's my thing. There's got to be an algorithm. These guys, like, if you're an NFL team, Brock Purdy is a perfect example. Mr. Irrelevant, he popped, right? You were able to invest all that money into everyone else in and around the organization, around the team. That's the gold standard of what you want, right? Late quarterback. Are we going to hit these days though? Like, quarterbacks are the other side of it. You want that rookie contract, but these days it's like you got to have 2 quarterbacks like that are viable going. If you don't have Josh Allen, if you don't have Jaden Daniels, if you don't have these guys, you almost feel like you have to have 2, because if one misses, the fans aren't going to stick around, right? If you only have one quarterback, he's horrible, well, then you're done. The other thing you have to ask yourself, and the Seahawks came out with this, is your quarterback better than that you want to draft better than Drew Lock or Sam Howell? Because we're willing to trade you for that pick so that you have more of a sure thing, more seasoned quarterback. So I think I don't know what the algorithm looks like, but you got to have one. You got to have an idea of needs and or is this quarterback going to fit the bill long-term? Potentially. I think Milroe goes in the first round too. Ooh. Here's why I say that. And I got a team.
Okay.
Every time Tua's gotten hurt, I don't think the Dolphins have won a game where the Tua hasn't played. Seriously, go look at their backup. Skylar Thompson might be the backup quarterback. I mean, they are bad and they're okay when Tua's around. They're maybe a playoff team, fringe playoff team. But when Tua is not playing quarterback, that team is atrocious. Yeah. Absolutely horrible. They can't run the ball.
Hill can't even get the ball.
He doesn't even get the ball. Go look at Milroe's tape. The dude can chuck. Yeah. I mean, he might not be the most accurate. With Tyreek Hill, you don't need to be the most accurate. Bama guy, you'd be great in the probably QB room with Tua. Like, he's a fit where I think the Dolphins have the luxury just because the fall off is so great after Tua. Like, you got to go figure that out because Tua's, he's going to have that helmet with a ton of padding around it, but still, like, he could get hit, play 1 and it's over for him. So I think 4 go in the first round.
Wow.
I think what the Dolphins probably do is trade down, secure another pick maybe later. allow someone to come up and get who they want, and then take Milroe in the back half of the first round.
I changed my mind. I'm going under.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Your algorithm?
I think it's only Cam and Shadeur. There was a guy on the NFL Network, I can't remember his name, but he said this draft, it's starters over stars. There's not any stars at the quarterback. So why are you going to trick yourself into draft them in the first round? There's a lot of offensive linemen. There's a lot of defensive players. There's great tight ends. I think Shadeur slides to 21. I think Jackson Dart goes to the Giants in round 2 at pick 33. And if not, the Browns get him, in the first pick in the second round. Then everyone else, your boy Milroe, Kyle McCord, Will Howard, Riley Leonard, Dylan Gabriel, there's not really much separation between any of them. So you might as well wait to the 4th or 5th round to get your quarterback who's going to be a second stringer, and then draft your offensive line, your interior defensive players. Georgia's got 2 stars. Texas has like 3 potential first rounders on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, but if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a team. That's what you got to have in the back of your head. And I think another other thing that comes in.
Okay, let's say the Saints. If they draft Jackson Dart, are they any better next year or the year after that? But
you don't know, though.
You don't know on talent.
You don't know, though. Go back to the next. You want hope. A left tackle doesn't give you hope. If you're a fan, oh man, now I got hope. We're going to run for 10 more yards a game. Whatever it is, you need hope. The fans need to see you make a move.
The left tackle gave the Philadelphia Eagles hope. They've got the best offensive line in football. They just won the Super Bowl.
True, but the fans, if you're hoping, so that's the other part of this. Like, if you're an organization, you're hoping to bring fans back in the door. The Saints have been garbage. They're tired of watching Derek Carr be okay. They had Spencer Rattler playing quarterback. Like, that doesn't give you hope. Spencer Rattler's okay, but he gives you hope that you might not lose a game by double digits. Like, that's, if your organization, you go out and get a quarterback to draw people in, because that's interesting. A left tackle is not interesting. So that's what I'm saying. I think you see more quarterbacks go in first round just because you're an organization that wants to give your fans hope. And if you hit, you hit. But you got to play.
You're not in the playoffs.
Okay, let's call this the quarterback lottery. You got to play the game to win, right? If you don't draft a quarterback, you don't win the lottery.
I'm okay with not drafting quarterback this year is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then everyone's pent up waiting for next year, and then you got competition, and then you're paying more, right? And then you got to look at
win this year without a quarterback with these starters in the draft, it all goes away.
Yeah, that's true. I just think in a situation like, you say you're a new GM, do you go the safe route and get a left tackle, get a D lineman, get a whatever? Or do you look to make a splash? And if it hit, and you're probably around for the duration of that, say that rookie hits, you're around a long time. You just bought yourself another 5-6 years. Now, if it doesn't hit, you probably get the opportunity to go do it again next year. But I think you got to take Milroe is the guy that I could see in certain offenses.
I could see him with the Jets.
Him and Fields?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's an easy transition. They're the same kind of quarterback. And then once the Jets are losing, they plug in Milroe in week 7.
Sure. I'll take that. I don't agree with you if you don't want me to agree with you, but I do agree with you.
That's fair. I need my Niners to draft someone on the defensive
Ricky Purcell again. Was that a good move? Evaluate that move, Ricky Purcell, because they talked about that too.
It's great now that Devo's gone, and we don't know how Ayuk's going to recover from his knee. I guess hindsight.
It was a good one. It was a good one. I mean,
let's not draft another wide receiver in the first 3 rounds, John Lynch. Please don't do that to me.
If you're Schneider, the Seahawks do have a lot of draft capital, which I think a lot of fans are happy with, because if you look back to the anchor of our success during the Legion of the Boom eras, and when we went to a couple Super Bowls, or I guess that Super Bowl that we won and then the one we lost, subsequently that was a draft class that was unheard of, and it comes with having enough draft picks to find enough players that become your starters on rookie contracts. That's what the Seahawks have every opportunity to really do well in this draft, and I think they put themselves in a position where they don't have many overt needs other than the offensive line. And offensive line is an area where
Who are their wide receivers? They got rid of DK.
Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah,
Listen, they're going to be fine with wide receivers. Like,
Yeah.
you might want to pick one at the end of the.
I forgot about him.
You might want a deep threat because both Cooper and JSN are more or less slot guys. Like, you kind of got rid of your deep threat with DK, but you got MBS, and I think you're okay. There's no like glaring needs for the Seahawks other than offensive line, and offensive line is something you can get later, right? Like, guys are that big. There's only so much that differentiates offensive linemen, which is technique generally. So I think the Seahawks are in a good spot. I think it's going to be a great draft for the Seahawks. I think they're in a position where they can trade down. They can look at areas where they can get extra picks, where they can trade up with picks. There's a lot that can be done. Evan will preview this.
Correct.
Draft. Dun, 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 dun. They do need a draft song.
I'm sure they have one.
Who do you think is going to be? Isn't there a live musical guest there? Who do you think that? Who's a Wisconsin native?
I don't know. I think you might have to get someone from the Midwest because I don't know if there's a Wisconsin native star.
Who calls Green Bay home?
No one.
Does A-Rod go to the draft?
Does A-Rod play next year?
I think he'll land somewhere. He'll land somewhere depending on how the draft plays out. Like, I think the Steelers. So I saw a mock where the Steelers were taking Shadeur.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place for Shadeur. You can go get humbled in Pittsburgh pretty quickly. And Tomlin, right? Like, they're pretty loud critics. Like,
what if Jerry drafts Shadeur because he wants to get Dion to be the coach in 2-3 years?
That's something so stupid and ludicrous. The Cowboys would actually do that, right? like if the Cowboys are the best marketed team in the NFL. They want to stay there, right? They want all eyes on the Cowboys. I could see that happen. Yeah. They might draft who's his brother. He's horrible, but they draft him just to have a Sanders on the team and coach your kid.
Shiloh Sanders, I think.
Shiloh, yeah. I mean, it's probably a pretty short drive. Not a short drive, but from Boulder to Dallas.
18 hours.
18. I could see that. Honestly, I could.
Yeah.
I don't know, where's Dak in his contract? He's still eating up like $50 million in cap.
Yeah. The Giants have to draft Abdul Carter. I think he's got the potential to be the best player in this draft, and you can't not take potentially someone who could be like Micah Parsons and just completely change the defense and the trajectory of a team and a defense. I think Abdul Carter should go number 1.
Yes.
But the Titans won't do that.
No. The Titans, and the thing is that you've postured already that you're going to take a quarterback, so they won't risk going down to 3 and trading with the Giants in the event. You did see the Giants win some games last year, and it was with the front 4. I think they still have Thibodeau, Kayvon Thibodeau, who's a good piece. Yeah, pair them with, there you go, defense wins championships.
And you got Broadway Russ.
Oh my goodness.
He can throw the deep ball to Neighbors.
Russ is the perfect, New York Giants quarterback.
Yeah.
He go back to Eli Manning, kind of this goofy, kind of head scratching guy, but he won games.
Yeah.
He won games. We'll see what Russ does with Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors, I don't know. Are you happy with that? You're Malik right now.
I'm happy.
Are you?
Look at George Pickens. Russ can throw the deep ball. He's going to get Neighbors the ball in better position. If Neighbors can put up those stats with Daniel Jones, and Tommy DeVito, and whoever else, Russ is solid. I think Neighbors is very happy.
To be determined. Just like the...
let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
At Big Ben K Winn _ anywhere you find your social media. That's X, that's TikTok. Maybe it's Blue Sky if we have enough time this week, and much, much more. Don't forget to download, listen, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast. Each week we broadcast live on YouTube. I'm K Winn, he's Big Ben. Next week we'll be talking about the Clippers moving on from beating the Denver Nuggets.
Ooh.
Wow.
Westbrook Revenge Series. Westbrook Revenge Series. That's what that is.
Kawhi healthy series. Did you see him the other
Yeah,
night?
put up 38.
Looks
Big.
good.
Man, imagine if he could have done this the last 5 years.
He'd be a top 12 player of all time.
All time? No.
Listen.
Come on.
We said
this is come on. We're not going to end like this. No, he would not be. Here's why.
Why?
Players play. They're on the court. They're playing.
We said if he
What are you going to say?
What
are you going to say in his Hall of Fame induction? This guy sat out the most games of any Hall of Famer ever. Like, no, you got to play. You're not a top 12 guy or all time if you don't play.
I'm saying if he played these last 4 years, he'd be top 12.
If
he's
shoulda,
got
woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, couldas.
2 finals MVPs.
Just like Ant. He's been Mr. Linear, but on the way down and to the right.
He's higher than Ant in terms of what he's done to the game.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying there's the analogy of Ant's linear up and to the right. Kawhi Leonard's been up and then down and to the right.
My what ifs. What if Kawhi stayed healthy? What if Brandon Roy stayed healthy?
Ooh.
And what if KD never left the Warriors?
The Warriors might have 7 championships. Seriously. I mean, come on. Gosh, people like to troll KD.
Yeah.
Right? And he'll take it. What did he say? He loves he answers to the haters because, I like that. However, I think that's partially because if you don't answer those guys, I mean, they're right now, the haters outweigh the guys that are telling KD made the right decisions in life. Like he's got to answer those or else they'll add up quickly.
But when you answer them, it shows you're insecure and you're listening to what everyone says about you.
No,
you got to defend yourself.
No, he's saying you got to look through life. You're not taking into considerations these circumstances or who I am, right? And how I see the world. You're looking at it through, I'm a 22-year-old, that enjoys basketball, that expects way more out of people than maybe I should. I don't know.
When people tell you about how much money they make and how much money they have, they don't have that much money. And they don't make that much money. When people try to justify their decisions for doing things, that means they didn't make the best decision.
Fair. That's fair. All right, let's get out of here.
All right. See ya. I go take Theo to
his
dog academy. He's training.
It's spring break, so we got a full household of crying and I don't know what else. Let's get out of here. See you tomorrow. Boom. Later.